I'm Eloise Gomez Reyes, and I'm the Assembly member representing the 47th Assembly District, which encompasses the communities of Fontana, Holt, Grand Terrace, Rialto, San Bernardino, and the unincorporated communities of Bloomington and Muscoy. I want to welcome all of you to the Senior Scam Stopper Tala Town Hall as we celebrate our 4th annual Senior Advocacy Week. I can't believe it's been 4 years. It's truly a pleasure to have all of you with us today, either virtually or on your telephone. This time we're offering it both ways. This week, I wanted to share with you that my office joined with some incredible partners to make and then to provide our seniors in the district with resource bags. In the bags were surgical masks, N95 masks, hand sanitizers, face shields, and brochures with resources for our seniors here in our district. There are all the county resources and all the state resources as well. I want to take this time to give special thanks to those who partnered with us to make sure that our seniors still felt the love, even though we couldn't physically meet with them as groups at each of the places where we normally would. I mean, last year we did 41 visits during Senior Advocacy Week. This year we went to all of our cities, all of our communities, but we delivered these bags with these wonderful supplies. But I want to thank our partners that helped make this happen. I want to thank Unity. I want to thank the State Council on Developmental Disability, the Autism Society, IEHP, and the Holy Land Church. I want to thank them for their partnership and their efforts in another successful Senior Advocacy Week. I want to also thank Prince Ogadikpe from my office, who was in charge of this program, making sure that our seniors all felt the love, and he did a great job. Together, we were able to visit 10 senior centers and senior housing facilities and provide bags, these resource bags, these PPE bags to, I believe the number was 1,200 seniors across the 47th district. It was certainly over 1,000, and we packed those bags, so we know how many we did. As I stated earlier, this is our 4th annual Senior Advocacy Week, where we spend the entire week serving our seniors. We started Senior Advocacy Week back in 2017 because we wanted to make sure that our seniors knew that they had a voice. We wanted to meet with them personally and hear from them. In our first year, we made 14 visits. That was and then in 2018, 21 visits. In 2019, 31 senior centers and senior housing facilities. 31, no, it was 41. I'm sorry, it was 41 that we visited. And this, I'm not going to cheat myself because we worked hard to make sure we visited with 41 last year. And this year we went to our senior centers to make sure we covered every city. My staff, as I mentioned earlier, joined so that we could deliver all of these bags. I want you to know that 10% of my district population is 62 and older. And by 2030, more than 9 million Californians will be over the age of 65. The first year when I shared the idea of hosting the Senior Advocacy Week with my mother, she reminded me, she says, "Mijita, remember, you too are a senior." And that is so true. And that's why I love visiting with my seniors, because I get to hear from them and they get to hear from me, because I have some opinions too. So without any further ado, let me tell you a little bit about who's joining us today. Joining us for today's Senior Scam Stopper are Peter Meza from California State Insurance Commissioner's Office, California State Insurance Commissioner's Office, and Stacy Hernandez from the San Bernardino County Department of Aging and Adult Services. Peter Meza is currently an Associate Insurance Compliance Officer with the State of California, Department of Insurance. He has been heavily involved in the insurance industry for over 33 years. And for the last 20 years, he's worked with the Department of Insurance in both the Claims Services Bureau, auditing insurers, and currently in the Consumer Education and Outreach Bureau. He's participated in many forums regarding all aspects of insurance to different communities, representing the Insurance Commissioner, my dear friend Ricardo Lara, and the Department of Insurance. He has done over 100 television and radio presentations as the Spanish spokesperson for the California Department of Insurance and worked closely with the last 3 insurance commissioners. Joining us also, Stacy Hernandez. Stacy started her career with the County of San Bernardino Department of Aging and Adult Services in 2017 as a social service aide and was promoted to Senior Information and Assistance Programs Area Representative in the city of Rancho Cucamonga to their office. Ms. Hernandez is from the local community and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Sociology from UCR, our great university here in our neighboring community. Senior Information Assistance is a program implemented by the San Bernardino County Department of Aging and Adult Services. The SIA program serves, advocates for, and connects seniors to current resources available in the community to encourage and assist them to maintain their health, safety, and quality of life. I'm really happy to have both of them because they have worked with our office on so many issues, making sure that our seniors are protected. And I always love when I'm able to reach out to them or my office is able to reach out to them because we know that the information we get is going to be the best information. So let me welcome you first. Peter, thank you so much for being with us. And I want to ask the first community question of you. So what we did is that we let our community know that you are both going to be on this call, on this town hall call, and asked them to send us questions. And we received so many questions, and we hope to get to all of them, but as has happened at every single one of our town halls, we just can't get to every single question. So if you still have a question, be sure you send it to us so we can get the answer for you. So let's begin with our first question. Peter, which is the most common, what are the most common scams targeting seniors that you've noticed?
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge and thank you so much for the invitation, Assembly Member. Thank you kindly. And also I want to acknowledge my boss, who was not able to be here and wanted to be here, but he's actually in another meeting as we speak. And so thank you so much for the invitation, Ricardo Lara, Insurance Commissioner of the state of California. One of the most common things that we see in the area of insurance and scams, you know, there's a variety of things that you'll see as far as scams, but I think the most common, and I just had this conversation yesterday with one of the fraud and investigator supervisors in one of our offices, and one of the most common things we still see to this day is the unsuitable policies that are sold to seniors, unsuitable annuities, and that's a big deal. Annuities is basically a policy that it's a contract between a life insurance company and an individual, and it will pay at a given time. Normally it's in the future. It will pay dividends to supplement your Social Security, 401k plan, and other vehicles that you may have for retirement. So this is great, you know, if you get into it at the right time. The problem is that there are folks that get into it when in fact it is not a suitable product. We've seen like an 85-year-old senior put into this plan that is not going to pay out for 20 years. So they're not going to begin to collect until they're 105 years old. So you can imagine a policy like that is a problem. So that's still one of the things that we see, unsuitable policies, life policies, and a lot of this annuity. And one of the reasons why, by the way, one of the reasons why seniors are a big target is that I would say about 70% of the wealth in the United States is within the senior community. So they have a big target, and retirement is a big deal. When somebody thinks about outliving your money, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to outlive this savings. And so they look for products. And so the annuity is a situation where they can get into that, be put into that program, and it could really cause a lot of havoc for a senior. By the way, I need to add this one thing. We believe all our insurance agents, because we license the insurance agents, over 360,000 insurance agents in the state of California, we do believe that the majority of them are good, ethical agents, but all you need is that one agent that gets a hold of your finances and is unscrupulous, just has no ethics, and it could really cause havoc. So I would say annuities is a big common scam.
You know, that's interesting that you say that it does just take one. And that's in so many things in society now, right? Everybody else can be following the rules, but you get one or two, and then we start judging everybody in the same industry. And that is important because you're right. There are so many that are honest insurance agents that are selling the products that they should be selling, who are complying with everything that they need to comply with. But when they start scamming our seniors, we want to be aware of what these possibilities are. So thank you so much. Here's another question from the community. What is elder financial exploitation, and what are some common examples? Peter, would you take that one too?
Sure, absolutely. So exploitation, a lot of times that happens with affinity groups. You see situations where folks get connected, seniors get connected at a senior center, a church, a club center, and some other type of community center or neighborhood, club of some sort, and they could be sold a product. Somebody could try to befriend you and really try to gain your trust, and they will use that to exploit you. So we do see folks unfortunately get themselves into that mess. Another thing is, I don't know if you receive little mailers and that invite you to a luncheon or to a dinner. I was very offended for many years because I would never get one, and I've been with the department 20 years, and I would see everybody getting these free lunches and dinners. And then I was like, and these are from the insurance agents. And as soon as I started getting a little bit of gray in my beard, I noticed that I started getting them all of a sudden. I started getting closer to the senior age. And what happens is they try to invite you to an event. And once they get you in there, they get you to the luncheon or to the dinner, they pressure you. They can pressure you to set up an appointment to come to your home. And that opens up a completely, a whole different area. And you really get yourself in a bigger mess because now they're in your home and they really pressure you. They know that you have nap times or you have times that you have to take your medication, and they just press you and press you. And, once they got that appointment with you, they really press those buttons. So we really encourage folks to be very careful. By the way, on those invitations, I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about for those lunch and dinners. It says very specifically there, if you're if you're a professional in insurance, of any area of insurance, you're discouraged from coming, or you're actually specifically told not to come. So a person like myself would not be able to attend one of those, and you can imagine why. I think that says it all right there.
That does says it all. That does say it all. And I think that just being vigilant, knowing that if somebody is trying to curry your favor or trying to endear themselves to you, that you just have to be careful. And it sends up some warning signs for family members too, to be aware of what their senior parents or uncles and aunts or brothers and sisters are being exposed to. Thank you for that. So now, Stacy, I want to ask a question to follow up actually to that. What should we do if we fall victim to a scam or other fraudulent activity?
Hi, yes, thank you for the invitation. If you fall victim to a scam or you believe you've been scammed, you need to, there are many different agencies that you can reach out to and make a report. One of the more overlooked ones I would say would be law enforcement. If you feel like you've been scammed, you can reach out to your local law enforcement and file a report there. Along with the local law enforcement, there's also the FBI, who they also take reports for scams. We have the Federal Trade Commission. They take reports of all types of scams as well. If there is a mail scam, if you believe you've been a victim of scam via mail, then you can report it to your U.S. Postal Inspector as well. Then for health insurance scams, say for the Medicare, a lot of seniors sometimes don't know how their Medicare is being used. Maybe they're being told that certain things aren't covered or certain things are covered but with a extra charge. They can report Medicare scams to Senior Medicare Patrol. And then they also have the Department of Consumer Affairs if they feel like they've been scammed as a consumer. I've gotten a lot of seniors who call us in saying that they got weatherization services put in, but the work that they put was not a great job. So they're still having a lot of problems with their electricity going up or their heater during cold times when they need to warm up their home. It's not staying warm because the job was not done correctly. They can report it to the Consumer Affairs, to the Department of Consumer Affairs to see what can be done. And also, let's not forget about the Adult Protective Services. If a senior doesn't know where to turn to, if they make a report for the Adult Protective Services, then the social worker that gets assigned to them can help them look into the different resources that are available for them and where they can report what's the next step to do for if they've been victims of scams.
Thank you for providing all of those resources, because I think having it at your fingertips and knowing that there are organizations, there are departments that are there to help, to do the investigation and to make sure that you as a senior are protected. Elder abuse, very important. I will tell you, and I don't have my little brochure in front of me, but maybe Prince or Maha will have it so they can show it. But in our office, we spent some time putting together our senior resources guide that shows all of the phone numbers and emails for those departments that can help them. Having that is extremely important, having the resources. And I know that, Stacy, I know that our seniors who are listening now and who will later watch, there it is. Thank you, Prince. That is our senior resources guide. So we always give that out when we visit our seniors to make sure that they have it handy and they know that they can look for the phone number that they need, including the number for Stacy and also for Peter. So thank you so much for that. So here's our next community question. How can we help protect ourselves, our clients, and our loved ones against financial exploitation and scams? Peter, do you want to begin that?
Sure, I can. I think as far as I encourage folks, if you're getting in a situation where you're talking to an insurance agent about a product, you make sure you check the website. Our department has a section where you can do a search and check the status of the insurance agent, make sure that he's in good standing. So we encourage you to do that. Some of the things that you should do, I've mentioned, don't be pressured or intimidated by an agent. Make sure you answer all the questions on the application correctly. Don't sign any blank document. You know, sometimes I've seen, in fact, where a consumer is told, just sign the bottom here, leave that area blank, and I'll fill it in later. And that's a major problem. Do not leave anything blank. Never sign anything you don't understand. If you don't understand it, simply say, I don't understand this, and I'd rather wait and get somebody to talk to you or somebody to review this with you, somebody you trust. Don't give an agent power of an attorney. I had one of the first cases that I had when I started with the Department of Insurance, landed on my desk, was an insurance agent had the senior deed over his home over to him. Yeah, to an agent. So the only reason we found out is because a daughter, the only next of kin, a daughter that was out of state, had notified us, had got a hold of this. Otherwise, you know, the agent knew enough about the financial situation of the individual that, you know, they can actually exploit these things. You know, they have to ask you all about your financial, you know, so that they sell you the right product. Unfortunately, with this senior, the agent was just being abusive. Read your policy, compare policies carefully, keep your policy in a safe place, get everything in writing, compare your policies, compare coverages and costs, be aware of duplicate coverages between policies. Sometimes, you know, you're getting duplicate coverage and that is not necessary. Don't pay in cash. Make checks payable to the insurance company, and make sure you're meeting the official agent of record when you sign the policy. ask the agent to sign the application in your present. Don't sign if the agent sends an employee or a third party, even if it's somebody else that they're sending because that's their representative. Make sure it's the actual agent on that. So these are just some of the things that I could mention at this time.
And what's interesting is as you're saying them, we think, gosh, that seems like common sense. But sometimes it isn't common sense. We're feeling pressured and we're being asked to do things and we're made to feel like, come on, you don't trust me? Why don't you sign it? I mean, I've done nothing for you not to trust me. So just know that you can take the time. You can ask for a copy so that you can review it with your family or a trusted friend. So thank you for that, Peter. Stacy, would you add something?
Yes, I actually did want to add something on how to protect ourselves, our clients, and our loved ones against financial exploitation and scams. Really, overall, I want to say, as a rule of thumb, don't give out your information, your bank, your credit card information, your personal information over the phone, through emails, through text messages, or online, unless you're the one that has initiated the contact first. If you know that the source that you're providing the information to is a legitimate source and you've made sure of this, not just gone by the word of the person, because a lot of people will say anything really to try and get you to trust them. You also want to not open up any unknown links or any text messages. A lot of people get random text messages on their phones. I've seen it on my parents' phones. They ask me, what's this? And I tell them, don't touch that, delete that. So you don't want to touch anything that you're not aware of, that you have not asked for. Definitely, you also, if you get a lot, going back to a previous question about common scams, would be in regards to Social Security benefits. A lot of seniors get calls or emails or text messages saying that their Social Security benefits are in danger of being cut off. You don't want to contact the number that contacted you first. You want to contact the Social Security Administration's office 800 number if you have it with you instead, so you can talk to and for sure, you yourself know you're calling the Social Security Administration office. And if you ask them that you got a notification or that you got a letter saying that your benefits are in danger, they'll tell you yes. They'll either confirm it or deny it, and then most likely they'll ask if you want to file a scam report, or let them know, I got this from such and such source, and they'll make a note that this such and such source is sending out fraudulent letters from the Social Security Administration, for example. You definitely want to ignore anything that seems too good to be true. So if they say, if you purchase this, you'll get this and this, you want to take all of that with a grain of salt. Again, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're exposing your bank information, trying to get a great deal on let's say right now, a high commodity on hand sanitizers or toilet paper. And let me see, if also with the coronavirus going around, there's a lot of places that are doing coronavirus testing. I was brought to my attention by one of my emails that one of the scams going around is that there's fake coronavirus testing sites being put out, so that way they can get the information of people that pass by and are interested in getting tested. You don't want to just go to a random here in San Bernardino, go to the San Bernardino County Department Public Health and see what sites they have set up and if there's any appointments available, and go through a legitimate source rather than go off something that you find on the side of the street, because you don't know if they're legitimate or they're not legitimate. They go through a lot of work to make it look as real as the real sites do.
And most of our seniors have a doctor. I mean, they have a facility, they have a clinic, they have a hospital where they go to normally. That's who they should trust. Those are very good points. Thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you. So now you both have been exposed to, you've seen it all, I'm sure. So tell us, our next community question says, what tactics do fraudsters use to take advantage of the elderly? So Peter, let's start with you.
Well, obviously the time pressure, you must decide right now. This is when you start hearing things like that. I have a big rule. that whenever I'm pressured and I see something, because you look at a product sometimes and you're thinking, wow, this is good. And you're thinking that in your mind, and the person that's selling starts adding these little things about it's good only right now. But honestly, if it's good right now, it'll be good tomorrow, and if it's not good tomorrow, it'll come around again. So you have to be very careful when you're dealing, especially when you're talking about making these large investments in things, especially when you're talking about an annuity product. Annuity products, we see people putting in, 25, 50, 100,000. I've seen people put in $1 million mistakenly put in that kind of money into an annuity. But it is, when you're talking about your life savings. So a lot of times right now, pressure, so these are things that, agents know. They use pressure points. They'll bring in the guy, if you don't sign on the dotted line, they bring in the second guy that seems to be a bigger guy, and he kind of puts the pressure on you and tries to get you to sign on the dotted line. So be careful with the pressure points. Once again, I mentioned the invitations to these luncheons and dinners. You're putting yourself in a position where they know how to use the pressure tactics to get you to either sign on the dotted line or to make an appointment so they can come in your home. And so you have to be careful not to allow yourself to be pulled into one of these scams, by opening yourself to allowing them to pressure you to do something you don't need to do.
And that pressure that is put on people, I mean, it's not just our seniors. I mean, I remember going on vacations and, they would, for timeshares, and I'm not speaking ill of timeshares, but, they'll send you into another room, and if you don't take it right at that moment, then they bring somebody else in. It's pressure for any human being. So the fact that we have so many protections specifically for our seniors is something that I'm very proud of, knowing that both with the California Department of Insurance and here with our county, with the Department of Aging and Adult Services, knowing that there are organizations, there are departments that are set up specifically to help our seniors. Stacy, how about you? Can you think of specific tactics that some of these fraudsters have used to take advantage of our seniors, of the elderly?
Yes, definitely. They use a lot of scare tactics. They use the scare tactics specifically in situations for seniors, or not situations, but things that are very insecure for them, such as their financial well-being. Like I mentioned, they will send out text messages, threats, trying to scare seniors into believing that they're going to be cut off from their hard-worked retirement money, that if they don't call them immediately or within the next 24 hours, or the IRS, they leave them, they give them phone calls, or if the phone calls aren't answered, they'll leave voicemail saying, if you don't give us a call back right now, then you'll be basically imprisoned. You'll be taken to jail for avoiding the IRS. And then these things are things that scare our seniors, because they've worked so hard for what they're retiring with, that just thinking that anyone can swoop down and take it away from them, they'll call that person, they'll call that number, they'll text back, they'll send them that email, that information, in order to avoid to have that information or their money, their retirement taken from them. They'll also use tactics such as trying to reach out to seniors. A lot of our senior population have opened up social media accounts because their grandchildren tell them, yeah, open up a Facebook account, so we can talk to each other when you don't have a phone. And so in these social media, then strangers tend to send friend requests to these seniors that claim to be part of their family from whatever country of origin they came from, if they're from outside of the country. Speaking from close experience from family, you'll have a person that names themselves Griselda Garcia, and they'll be like, oh, I'm such and such's daughter, or, of such and such place, who your parents knew of, that. And then the seniors will believe it. They'll think, oh yeah, they know that person, I know that person, then you must be family. Mm-hmm. And then they'll ask them for money over online, or on the line, like a lot of seniors would say. And they trust it. They trust that since they know the person that they know, then they feel, okay, well then, yeah, this person is trustworthy. I'm going to send them $20 right now, but then they get the information and there goes their life savings. And then they have, they also use just, they'll send them a lot of things that I tell my seniors is don't answer a phone call with a yes, because a lot of seniors have that habit. Like if the phone is ringing, they're also, oh yes, this is this person. I always advise my clients, don't answer with the yes, because you don't know what you're confirming, what they're going to use that confirmation for later on in their in whatever plan they have going on. I'm very adamant with, if you want to answer a phone call that you do not recognize, answer with a hello or how can I help you, this, so that way there is nothing that is available for them to use against you without your knowledge.
It's interesting that you were talking about that. When I do my senior advocacy week and I get to hear my seniors, I went to one senior center where they were sort of making fun of one of the tenants there, one of the residents, because he had received a call, and it started with social media. They had started to correspond back and forth, and then they exchanged phone numbers. And they said that the other residents were telling me, yes, he got a phone call, and the woman said, hi, we'll call him John. Hi, John. I'm so glad I'm getting to know you, and from your photo, I see that you're somebody I really wanted to meet, and I wanted to come over to see you and to meet you, but my purse was stolen, and in order for me to get a flight from Florida to California to meet you, can you let me borrow $400? And so the rest of the residents were making fun of him, asking, are you going to send the $400? And he was smart enough to say, absolutely not, I'm not going to. But it just reminds us that social media is just one other way that they can do it. I'm glad you talked about the IRS, Social Security. Our seniors will receive a phone call and say, we need to confirm your Social Security number. We need to confirm your account number, your banking account number, so that we're sure that the money is going into the right account. All of these things need to send up red flags to tell you, nope, this is not right. This is not correct. There's something wrong with this picture. Why would they be asking me this information over the phone? And I appreciate both Peter, both you and Stacy talking about the fact that you should call back, not to the number that called you, but if it's the IRS, well, you look in the phone book, find the phone number for IRS, so you really are calling the IRS, or you really are calling Social Security, or you really are calling your bank. Not that you're calling back the scam artist that was calling you in the first place. Those are very important things, and when we look at these stories, we had the post office representative come on one of our Scam Stopper events, telling us about how they would order something. It sounded so good when it was ordered, and then when it was received, it was absolutely not what they had ordered, but they had already spent all their money. We've had from personal experience where my grandmother, God rest her soul, had received a call, and they started, Abuelita, ¿cómo está? And she's wondering, so it's got to be one of my grandkids. Then he went on to say, well, we came for vacation to Mexico, and Abuelita, grandmother, we got arrested. It's not our fault, but now they say we have to give all this money. Please, we don't want to stay in the jail. Would you send us some money? And these are all things, if they use a name of someone that is one of the grandkids, or if they use Jose or they use Maria, they go, there's got to be a Jose, there's got to be a Maria in the family. And these are the things that we need to be careful about. So thank you for giving us all of those examples. That's really important. So now one of the things that we always like to do is we want to know, what are the programs, what are the resources that are available for our seniors locally and at the state? So Stacy, tell us about some of the resources that are available to our seniors here at the county and local area.
I want to start off first with the Department of Aging and Adult Services. I want to say it's a really important department for seniors to know about because there are a lot of programs that they can benefit from. One of them I already mentioned, the Adult Protective Services. Another one where I'm from, the Senior Information and Assistance. I kind of want to say we're like the 411 for seniors. So the Adult Protective Services will make sure that seniors have a place to call or to report any abuse that's going on their way. And abuse is a lot of people think of it like physical abuse, financial abuse, emotional abuse, and all, just the standard abuse that when someone mentions abuse, then you'll think of that. They also look at things such as self-neglect. So if a senior is having trouble with their rent, or if a senior is having trouble with their bills, they can call the Adult Protective Services, and the Adult Protective Services will go out to see what's going on, what's happening with what's the situation, and how they can help. And going with the bills, if a senior needs assistance with bills, in the Senior Information and Assistance Program, we're able to assist in certain situations by helping a senior over a financial hardship that happened once a year for them. We can also help our seniors in filling out applications. So if you're not sure about how to fill out your application to get your Section 8 housing done again, you can give the Senior Information and Assistance call. We'll set up an appointment. We'll gladly help you fill out that application for you and help you in whatever it is that there is. If we don't have a resource available for a senior, then we'll gladly look up the resources, go through the websites, go through our different networks that we've come into contact in our various outreaches to see what we can do to help the senior that is asking for assistance. We also have one of the bigger programs in the department, the In-Home Supportive Services Program. A lot of our seniors are either living alone or their family members are nowhere near them. Geographically speaking, they're either living 4 hours away, 2 hours away, maybe even an hour away. But for the seniors, that's a lot of time, and they sometimes need help at home with bathing. They need help with cooking, with cleaning, all sorts of things that become difficult as your age advances. Just little things that you take for granted as you're young, but then when you're older, you realize, okay, maybe I can't vacuum every day like I used to before. Or maybe I can't do my dishes, or I can't do my laundry. And you have seniors that need that extra help in the house, and sometimes they don't have the means to pay for it. So in the Department of Aging, there is the In-Home Supportive Services Program that can help the seniors cover help them pay for someone to help them in that home. And the beautiful thing about that program is that they can choose the person they want to help them. So if they happen to have a family member that's nearby, or a friend that's willing to help them every once in a while, and they qualify for the program, then the person would be paid for assisting that person, so they don't feel like they're being a burden for that person. And then there are multiple programs really in the Department of Aging that just simply are there to benefit our seniors as well as our disabled adults, our dependent adults. And then other than that, there are programs that are specifically for seniors that need home repair, for example, that I've come across. So really, I have an arsenal of resources for seniors depending on each different situation. If I come across a new one, then I'll look into it, make sure that, double check, oh, they need glasses, okay, and then here, let me help you with the glasses by looking up where we can get you low income glasses or no cost glasses. And I can talk hours about what resources I found really. But I just wanted to mention those specific ones that I feel are a vital part for seniors as they keep aging and things become a little more difficult for them.
I really appreciate that. I know that when we were putting together our senior resource guide, we looked to your department for so much of this to make sure that we provided that to our seniors. Thank you for providing that to us. And if any of you who are listening here or who later hear the recorded program, please know that my office is always available. We will always connect you with the county resources or the state resources. And speaking of state resources, Peter, tell us, what are some of the resources available at the state level?
Well, I want to start by mentioning the seniors.ca.gov, which is the senior gateway. that is sponsored by the Elder Financial Abuse Interagency Roundtable. That's EFAIR. And it's hosted by our department, the Department of Insurance. So on there, you'll find just an enormous amount of resources, and it'll connect you to different agencies. So that is one great resource. And also our website, the Department of Insurance website at www.insurance.ca.gov also has a section just for seniors. And in that area, you'll see specifically talks about different things, advisories, talks about, you know, the open enrollment time. It talks about different issues related to seniors. It has brochures that talks about the Senior Bill of Rights. And it has another senior driving for seniors brochure, which talks about a lot of good things. Sometimes as seniors, it's kind of hard to tell a person when to stop driving. And it's a nice brochure to talk to, perhaps to a family member that, you know, you go through certain things in the brochure that, you know, you can talk about. And then of course, we have the annuities brochure for seniors. And so there's a whole section there. It's just dedicated to the seniors. So I would say we have our 800 number for the seniors. If for some reason they get themselves in a situation where they feel that they're being exploited, just call it. We have over 40 actual insurance compliance officers that are experts. Every one of them are experts, and they can walk you through if you need to open up some sort of an investigation against an insurance agent or an insurance company. That could also be done. So I would encourage folks, keep a hold of that 800 number, 1-800-927-4357. And, you know, we're there to help you anytime. We'll answer the phone, by the way. A lot of times, you know, you call folks and, you know, I think we'll answer within a few minutes, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. So please use us. Call us anytime you need us.
Thank you. And I've got to tell you that answering the phone is probably one of the most important things. I know that for a lot of my seniors, when I visit for Senior Advocacy Week, they tell me, well, we try calling and nobody ever answers. And I tell them just like with my office, just be patient. We will get back to you. So making sure that we do answer the phone and that we do get back to people is extremely, extremely important. So here's another question from the community. What advice would you give seniors and their families on how to avoid these scams? Peter, let's start with you.
Sure. So one of the things I would say, if you're getting into a situation where you're getting into a product, an insurance product, I believe it's important to have a trusted family member, a friend, advisor that will participate in the discussion concerning any type of insurance product. Another thing, never open the door to any unsolicited agent. Insurance agents actually aren't allowed to come to your home unsolicited if they're going to try to sell you a life insurance policy or an annuity. They have to actually write to you 24 hours in advance. They have to do that and send that to you 24 hours in advance. They have to tell you who's coming. They have to tell you what their purpose is. They have to tell you that you have the right to end the meeting at any given time. They also have to tell you that you have the right to call the Department of Insurance, and also they have to put the number there. You should be careful not to answer the phone, the door. You know, if somebody comes to your door, by the way, I tell people, let them know you're there, but don't open the door. And the reason for that is, you know, sometimes, you know, people are looking to see who's home and who's not home. Just talk through the door. Don't open the door and say, hey, Mr. Insurance Agent or Mrs. Insurance Agent, just leave your card there on the door, on the floor, and I'll get to it later. And every insurance agent is required to have their insurance number, their license number on the card, their business card. By the way, if an insurance agent has a business card and it doesn't have a license number, that's a problem. We need to know about that. Call us at our 800 number. But I would say just grab that card when you feel it's safe, and you know, go ahead and give us a call and let us know that this insurance agent came to your home unsolicited. So I encourage that. Make sure, another thing as far as talking about things to avoid, scams, I would say don't, I mentioned some of these, but never be pressured, intimidated by an agent. Answer all the questions on the policy correctly. Compare policies carefully, and be careful to keep your policy in a safe place. And you know what? If somebody's calling you, just, you know, we come from a different generation, especially our parents, and you know, I'm sure many of you have been brought up to be very courteous when you answer the phone, but sometimes you just have to hang up the phone. You really do. You just, you know what, somebody's calling you, they're trying to solicit, visit, or trying to sell your product. We need to learn to hang up the phone. And for that matter, I don't even answer the phone. I look at the number, and I have to know who it is. And then I wait for them to leave a message. And most of the time, the people that really need to get a hold of you, they will leave a message. And if they don't leave a message, it's probably just another solicitor. So I know we're always concerned about family members calling us and so forth, but they'll know how to get a hold of you. So I would just say be very careful when people are trying to communicate with you. Don't open emails that you don't know, especially the attachments. You know, I never open attachments unless I know specifically who it's from. I know the person, but those are some of the things I would mention to you.
And I have heard that the advice also, just along the lines of what you're saying, if it's a phone number you don't recognize, then just as a general rule, don't answer. Just don't answer. If they want, they can leave a message. If they want, they can send you a text. They'll find a way to communicate with you if their intentions are good. Stacy, what would you like to add on advice that you would give to seniors and their families on how to avoid these scams?
I want to definitely emphasize the phone calls. Just don't answer phone calls if at all possible. Let it go to voicemail if it's important. Like like it's been mentioned, they'll leave a voicemail. If you receive a text message, if you don't recognize it, don't respond to it. Don't click on any links either on email or on your phone, even on the text messages. If you have social media, don't accept friend requests from strangers that you don't know, that you're not sure who it is. Just it's a rule of thumb. Just don't accept it, because it might be someone that you know, but also it could be someone that's trying to take something from you. You just are not sure. It also, if you happen to find yourself talking to someone on the phone that seems to be legitimate, offering you a good cable and internet package, for example, let's say, if they insist on a payment by a gift card, money transfer, or cryptocurrency, then most likely it's a scam. Nobody will insist payment by a gift card from you on the spot. Or if it's Social Security, or it's one of those state or federal agencies, they won't ask for payment, or they won't ask for a bank account or credit card number. They will not ask for your Social Security number. And just be aware not to share your information. Just be cautious. Take everything with a grain of salt. If you feel something is off, then most likely it could be off. So follow your gut instinct. I know it sounds a little weird, but follow your gut. You tend to know when situations are off. You get that feeling. Or if you're not sure what they're talking about, don't be afraid to ask someone for help, to help you understand. Like, you think you can talk to, can you take over the phone call for me? I don't understand what they're talking about. Or if you receive a text message and you don't know what it is, run to your niece, run to your daughter, someone that you trust, and have them take a look at it. They can assure you that it's either a legitimate text message from someone you might know, or it can be a scam from someone. I know that's what my parents do. They run to me with their phone in hand and they show me their text messages, and I just delete it for them. And just don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't understand the situation, ask for help. Someone is bound to know. Someone is bound to let you know, okay, you want to avoid that, or just don't answer their phone calls anymore. I know a lot of people get frustrated with the phone calls, and they just want to answer just to, have a few pretty words said to the other person on the line. And it's just best not to let yourself do that. Just leave it off, because a lot of times also phone calls are robocalls. They're just dialing random numbers, trying to see which number is a hit. And if you answer a phone call, then you let them know that the number is a hit, and they'll continuously bother you from then on, trying to get you to answer and respond to whatever it is they're trying to get from you.
You know, thank you so much. If it isn't a number you recognize, just don't answer it. If they're sending you a text, and if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Talk to the people you trust. Talk to the people you trust. And if you ever feel that someone is taking advantage of you, reach out. If you don't have a family member, then reach out to the county Department of on Aging and Adult Services, or to the state with the Insurance Commissioner's office, or to my office. There are lots of resources that are available. For my seniors, I want you to know that you've worked hard all your life. You've made money, you have saved your money, and we want you to keep your money till your last day, and we want you to be able to give it to whoever you want. We don't want anybody taking away your hard-earned money. So, Peter and Stacy, we're at the end of our hour. I can't believe it went by so fast. Any final thoughts? And also, if you would give again the website, or the how to get a hold of you.
So, last words is the Department of Aging and Adult Services is there to help our seniors with anything really. There's a program that can help in many different aspects of their life now, their senior life. If you want to get in contact with the senior information and assistance, we're here to help. We're here to provide you the resources that you're looking for. And sometimes we're able to provide more tangible assistance for our seniors. We have 6 different offices, I believe. We're located, we have an office in Barstow and Needles. We have an office in Rancho Cucamonga, where I'm from, the San Bernardino office. We also have a Victorville office and a Yucca Valley office. So there's an office near you if you need our assistance. To reach us, you can give us a call at our 800 number. It is 800-510-2020. Again, it's 800-510-2020. And your call will be directed to the nearest office if possible. If for some reason you get directed to the office farthest from you, we have no problem transferring the call to your office, as long as you're able to get that assistance that you require.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stacy. Peter.
Just in closing, I want to remind seniors that your financial situation changes over time, and it's important to review your financial and insurance policies and decide if the same terms and types of products are still the right ones for you. So, if you have any questions, I encourage you to give us a call. The 800 number is a great tool to get in touch immediately with somebody that you can communicate with, that is an expert, that can review something with you. And I'm going to repeat that number. It's 1-800-927-4357. You're welcome also to file any request for assistance on our website at www.insurance.ca.gov. You can do that right there, right online. And we're here for you. We're here to help you through the process. The outreach department has just expanded extensively like we've never have in the 20 years that I've been there. And we are really reaching out to communities. I'm getting a lot of feedback on that. So if there's anything we can do to help you, please give us a call. Please communicate with us, and we're here to help you, and we'll walk you through the process of any issue that you're dealing with.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Peter, Stacy, what a pleasure to have you both. It's great to have the experts giving us advice. And for all of you who are watching us virtually, for those of you who called in, I want to thank you so much for participating. And for those of you who are going to see this as a recording later through your center, I thank you for always opening your doors to our office. I want to remind you that our office is always available. My district director, Maha Rizvi, will always take care of the issues that come into the office and make sure that the right person is assigned to your case. And again, Prince Ogadikbe from my office, who helped to organize this, I thank him so much. It's been a wonderful week. This is a great way to culminate this week. by having the Scam Stoppers Teletown Hall with our two distinguished guests. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Please be safe, wear your masks, and take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.